And the board pairs 7, so as the cards lie, Dan Kelly must catch an ace on the river to win the pot. He did it earlier when he knocked out Jason Burt. Can he do it again?
All right, as you can see, the chip leader at this point, Sean Jazayeri. He is from Washington. He's got about 7.7 in chips. Dan Kelly with about 5.2. What he's going to take home over 1.3 million here tonight at the Commerce Casino in Los Angeles.
Action's on the 22-year-old. He's a World Series of Poker bracelet winner. Playing in only his 4th WPT event, yet this is second cash, his first final table.
Dan Kelly, Tony Dunst like to say he is a crazy player online, and he's going to play crazy right now with 4 deuce, moves it up to 160 to go.
Now, Vince, he's crazy like a fox, I can tell you that on the green felt.
Schwartz out.
I call.
Doc out, but Sean Jazayeri with a Jack-3 and the big blind.
Well, both of these players got in this tournament by winning a $1,000 satellite. So they are going to make a nice parlay wherever they finish.
Check.
Dan has picked up a piece of that, but they both check. Sean hitting nothing.
Now a deuce comes off. Dan now has 2 pair.
140.
And he's got Sean to bet it here. Try to take this pot with nothing. Little does he know.
Well, there's a raise, and this is going to be a adios.
Makes it 460 to go. Sean gives it up. Well, very nicely done by Dan Kelly.
The kid's on the move, no doubt about it. Okay, action's now on Noah.
Noah Schwartz, also known as Nick Lovin from the movie Superbad, goes away. Now Doc Sands, 27-year-old out of Vegas, also folding.
I call.
Well, Doc, one's to watch this season on the World Poker Tour. Not this hand as he folds, but Sean Jazayeri just limps in with ace high, does not raise with it. So Dan Kelly, with queen jack in the big blind, thinks he's got the best hand. He makes the raise.
Call.
Yeah, he does, and he's going to get quickly called by the ace high.
You're not going to put your opponent on an ace when they limp in a small blind. And the flop comes king, king, 9 with 2 hearts.
Check.
Action on Sean, he checks. Dan Kelly, of course, with a gut shot straight draw, is going to bet here.
Yep, Dan, only 22 years old. Looks younger than a Chinese gymnast. He's going to get called.
And he's not liking this call, I can promise you.
Check.
Well, Sean checks again, and
Sean picked up a pair of 4s there. Dan's going to slow down with a check, Mike.
I don't blame him. Well, the 8 of hearts comes off, so 3 hearts on the board.
200.
Look at this.
Well, he's going to bet 200,000.
Now, you wonder if Sean thinks he's bluffing this pot, or is he betting for value, which I can't imagine.
Dan Kelly, they call him DJK, going to muck his hand. Be careful when you play with this amateur. He can bite back.
Win your way to the 40 million guaranteed WPT World Championship. Satellites as low as $5 and awarding at least 12,400 WPT Championship passports every Sunday. Click the link in the description below, sign up with bonus code YT90, and win your seat.
All right, back to the game. A quick fold by Dan Kelly, and now Noah Schwartz from Florida looks at a 7 deuce of hearts. He's got the button. He's got chips, and he's going to get brave with a raise. 160 to go.
Well, Noah had major league pitching aspirations in his mind. He was a lefty.
I call.
Pitched in high school and college, but had elbow trouble. Now been a poker pro 9 years.
Doc is out, and Sean has picked up ace-jack, but no re-raise. Just calling.
What a flop for Noah. It's come queen 7-7. He's flopped 3 7s.
Yep, Sean with ace high, and Noah can't believe his luck here. Got to stick out a very delicate 110. Try not to chase him away, but that's exactly what happens. Sean releases his hand.
He's making a continuation bet. Just thinks it'd be too suspicious if he didn't make one on that flop.
They have the queen 7. It's crazy.
I did. I pushed you on queens.
Sick read. See on TV, it's pretty sick read.
Yay.
Well, Noah taking down that pot, but he would have liked to get a little more action there.
Hoping you had the 7.
I had a big hand. Pre-flop.
Oh, that's going to make Noah even more crazed right now.
Well, this is Doc Sands now. He's going to raise it.
Call.
Sean quickly calls with king 7. Dan Kelly out. And Noah Schwartz also out. So king 10 up against king 7, and we are flopping.
Well, flop comes ace 8-5 with 2 spades. Well, Doc does
I check.
not make the continuation bet, and Sean quickly checks right behind him. Now a 7 comes off, and Sean now has the best hand with a pair of 7s.
Doc disillusioned about his hands tonight.
150.
Checks again. Sean gonna bet with the 7s.
Just puts his opponent on something like king, queen, or queen, jack, and he's going to bet the 2 7s and take it down.
Well, Vince, you got to say he is wowing this crowd right now. They might not have been a fan of his before the night started, but the way he's handled these young guys so far, very impressive.
And what's also impressive, Mike, is right over there, the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar, which we have here in Season 10, where the Royal Flush Girls enjoy talking to the many patrons and railbirds. What do you think they're talking about, Mike?
Can I whisper it to you? Do I have to say it on air here, Vince? But I think their bluffs are going to get called by these girls.
It's a great tradition we have on the World Poker Tour. I mean, think about it. You go to a football game, you can't sit next to the cheerleaders and chit-chat. What a bargain this is.
When I bust out, there's still hope on the World Poker Tour.
They're at every WPT event, along with Mike Sexton and myself. Look at this, Mike. Sean Jazayeri with a pair of kings.
Everything's gone right for him so far, and now he looks down and finds a pair of kings. You gotta love it.
Gonna make it 210,000 to go now. Dan Kelly with a pair of 10s right behind him.
Well, could get himself in trouble here. The aggressive player 3 bets here, but he does not. He just calls with the 2
Wow,
10.
just calls. And now Noah Schwartz with a ace-jack, decent hand.
Well, Vince with his stack size. And Dan Kelly not re-raising pre-flop. He may just go with this hand. I wouldn't blame him if he did. I'm talking about moving all in.
What are you thinking about? Hey, listen, you'd have some dead money.
All in.
And that's exactly what he's thinking. He's thinking about a squeeze play. It could be at the wrong time. He has gone all in. Doc Sands getting out of the way.
I'm all in.
Well, quickly, Sean going all in as well. Gives Dan Kelly an opportunity to get out of the pot with his 2 10s.
And he does so. Oh, this is incredible. Noah trying the squeeze play at the wrong time, perhaps.
Well, Noah got lucky last time and stayed alive when he hit 2 runners to make it straight to split the pot. Right now, he's looking for a bullet.
Oh, wow. I played so bad this tournament. Jesus Christ.
Doesn't mean he can't get lucky here.
I'm the worst.
He is being tough on himself.
I look like an online dunk on TV, that's for sure. Queen, king, 10, sweat?
Now the flop.
Come on, that would be fun.
I'm game.
I deserve to get lucky, right?
Ace-jack up against kings, and the flop is 6-6-10. Now, look at that. It would have been 3 of a kind for Dan Kelly.
Oh.
He's miserable about that.
Can't believe
If
it.
it's happening, it's not happening till the river.
That's
So,
true.
I don't know what we're all excited
That's the way
about.
these tournaments
Yeah.
been about, yeah.
This has been a crazy night here at the Commerce. Suckouts galore. It could happen. Not there. It's a 9.
Well, we're down to the river. Noah Schwartz must catch an ace on the river to stay alive if he wants to win this tournament.
Slow. Do sweat, sweat, sweat. But slow, though.
Can he get the bullet?
sweat.
He needs
For
the
sweat.
ace.
Let's take a look. Go!
Doesn't happen as the 10 comes off.
And quads.
Dan would have made quads in this hand. He could have doubled up and had the big chip lead here. But Noah Schwartz, the former pitcher, just couldn't get it across the plate tonight, out in 4th place.
Noah Schwartz, 355,000 he'll take back to Miami, and a lot of experience. 3 players remain, and right now Noah's going over to talk to Matt Savage.
Here with Noah Schwartz, our 4th place finisher. Kind of have a tough night today.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't get it. I just played really, really bad from the get-go. Not really a whole lot. No way to sugarcoat it.
Well, I mean, obviously you're a great player. You've been to 3 final tables, 8 cashes in the World Poker Tour. What's it going to take for you to take one of these down?
Not play as bad as I did, obviously. I mean, that's one of the key. I mean, I played really bad. I'm disappointed in my play, but happens.
Well, I'm sure we'll see you next at the next stop on the World Poker Tour.
I'll be there.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Noah. Back to you, Marianella.
Well, there you see the chip count. Sean Jazayeri well out in front with over 9.6 million. Dan Kelly in 2nd place. Doc Sands in 3rd. The winner going to get over 1.3 million. Next guy out gets 521,000.
Sean has folded, and Dan Kelly with ace-8 has raised.
All in.
And look at this. Doc Sands all in with 2 million.
Well, Dan quickly calls. So here we go. Dan Kelly beat him in the pot with the ace-8 offsuit, and he's out in front.
Unreal call.
Just incredible.
Snap call by Dan Kelly. Huge moment here at the Commerce Casino.
Well, Doc Sands' tournament life on the line, and
Oh,
a king
boy.
comes on the flop. Doc Sands has taken the lead.
Well, that's the way to outflop for Doc Sands. Finally, a little smile, perhaps. Dan not liking that.
And the board pairs 7, so as the cards lie, Dan Kelly must catch an ace on the river to win the pot. He did it earlier when he knocked out Jason Burt. Can he do it again?
And there's Erica David's fiance on the rail, sweating her man, and it's going to pay off for Doc Sands.
So just that quick, David Doc Sands, a one to watch this season on the World Poker Tour, watches his chips double up.
Oh, and a beautiful thing to do, especially when you go into the flop as an underdog. But that's not going to bother Doc Sands right now. He's doubled up. We have 3 players remaining.
I think it's obvious Dan Kelly's got a pretty good read on the guy. Made a snap call with the ace-8 there, and it was the best hand.
Well, these are 2 tough young poker pros battling. Right now, back to the next hand. David, this time with Queen 9. That's Doc Sands. He's raised. Sean getting out of the way.
And Dan Kelly has the same hand, a Queen 9. Now, usually when both players have the same hand, whoever's doing the post-flop betting is the guy that wins the pot most of the time.
Dan Kelly, 22 years old, got this tournament to a $1,000 satellite. He's making it pay off here tonight. Flop comes up with a nothing flop, 6-5-4. Sean, oh,
Shaking his head because he'd have flopped a straight, but
certainly would have.
not going to call a raise with a 3 deuce.
Dan checks. And Doc looks like he's going to, yes he is, make the continuation bet with Queen High, and it's going to work.
So Doc Sands picking up another pot by betting.
Win your way to the 40 million guaranteed WPT World Championship. Satellites as low as $5 and awarding at least 12,400 WPT Championship passports every Sunday. Click the link in the description below, sign up with bonus code YT90, and win your seat.
$100,000 buy-in high rollers event. Went deep in the main event of the World Series of Poker, now looking to take down a WPT title.
210.
All right, back to the felt. Sean with a pair of 3s, going to 210 to call. Dan out. But David Doc with a king-queen will see the flop.
Yep, he's just going to call here. What a flop for Doc. It's come king 6 deuce. He's flop top pair.
250.
He has checked it. He's getting Sean to bet with just the 3s, 250,000. Doc has got to love this and makes a casual call.
Sean probably not liking that. 8 of clubs comes off. Well, Doc checks.
I check.
Sean quickly checks right behind him. Kind of hope he's on some kind of drawing hand now, whether it be a flush or a straight. Board pairs 8s. Doc's going to bet 540,000 and a quick fold with the 2 3s. Just doesn't even consider he's got a drawing hand and bluffing at the pot, and he gives it up, and wisely so.
And right now, Sean Jazayeri has about 9 million in chips. David Doc Sands with 5.2, and Dan Kelly with 2.2.
Okay, the action's back on Dan.
Dan Kelly now looks down at an ace-7 of clubs. He's got the button, he's got raise and chips in hand, and he slaps them in. 160,000 to go. Doc Sands out.
I call.
Now Sean going to make the call with the 76 trombones.
And here we go with the first 3.
Flop comes 9-8 deuce.
Uh-oh.
Sean's flopped an open-end straight draw.
Check.
But notice that Dan has flopped a nut flush draw.
Yeah, and Sean checks it. Dan's got to love this flop.
Well, it's a hand you're going to go with, Vince. No matter what happens, you're not throwing away the nut flush draw.
Yeah, it's 185,000.
425.
Whoa.
Sean has check raised here.
Sure.
Take that, you youngster. Young whippersnapper.
Is that what you call them now? Whippersnappers.
Well,
It's good.
I think the whip is going to go right back on Sean here in a minute. If I was Dan, I'd just move in here.
On.
And that's what he's done.
That was 1.6.
And the call, this is an additional 1.6 to call off with just an open-ended straight draw. I think he can get away from this right now.
It's one thing to move in with it. It's another to call your money off with it. You hate calling money off of the draw.
Not even the best draw, of course.
I call.
Oh boy, he is doing it.
Quite a gamble here by the amateur.
You're ahead.
What's unique about these two particular players, one's a tough young pro, one's an amateur player that's older. Both players got in this tournament by winning a $1,000 satellite.
All right, the crowd stunned here. Sean Jazayeri, the chip leader, with a chance of knocking out another player here. Here's the turn card.
Well, an ace on the turn. So we are down to the river. Sean must catch a 5 or a 10 that's not a club to win this pot and eliminate Dan Kelly from this tournament right now.
That would be an historic beat here at the Commerce. Here we go. Let's take a look.
Well, it's the 4 clubs.
Nice hand. Thank you.
So Dan Kelly making the flush to take down that pot and double up. And Vince, for the first time tonight, Sean is taking a hit on his chip lead.
Yeah, he bet his hand on the come. Didn't pay off. He has doubled up Dan Kelly. We're coming back with more action as 3 players remain here at the LAPC here at the Commerce Casino.
Well, there you see the chip counts. Sean out in front with 6.8 million. Doc Sands in second with 5.1 million. Dan Kelly in third with 4.4.
Not gonna lie.
See how close the chip count is getting right now. After Sean made what we thought was a bad call for 1.6 million, but that tightens things up.
All right. Back to the play. Doc Sands quickly folds. Sean
I call.
with ace-5 just calling.
Well, most players would raise out of the small blind with an ace in their hand, but
Check.
Sean just calls, and Dan happy to see a free flop with a 10-3.
Yeah, he's got a mess of a hand. He's saying, let's bring it on.
And flop comes ace 8-6 with 2 spades.
Great for Sean. He's hit aces, but he's going to check. And he's going to get Dan to bet.
I call.
Yep, it's 85,000, and of course Sean is going to call. It doesn't re-raise. Dan doesn't like that call, of course.
Well, now a 10 comes off.
Well, that gives Dan a pair of 10s there, Mike.
Possible straight, and as you said, gives Dan second pair, but to him, he thinks he's got the best hand now.
Thinks he had the perfect card there. It's a $175,000 bet.
Never going to put your opponent on an ace the way Sean has played this hand. Didn't raise pre-flop, didn't bet or raise on the flop. Now an ace of clubs comes off. Sean has made 3 aces and checks again. And I'm certain Dan Kelly feels like he's got the best hand here the way this hand was played.
Yeah, you're right, because Sean didn't raise before the flop.
Yeah, I would think my opponent had 2 6s or 2 8s here.
That's what it looks like. Dan coming out with another bet, 375.
Sean takes the deep sigh here.
I call.
And he's going to make the crying call and win the pot with 3 aces. And I think Dan is going to be a little surprised to see that.
Well, that's why it pays sometimes to not be a pro. Don't play so routine, so tough.
Kitchen's no good. I was gonna say, that seems dirty.
And right now, Sean taking that pot by the nice play.
Well, the WPT boot camp instructor is going to be happy to see the way he played that pot. He got a good hand. Check it. Let the aggressive player bluff his money off.
This time, Sean has picked up a big hand. Ace-queen. He's got the button, and he is getting that raising chips this time, mixing up his game nicely. It's going to make it 180 to go. Dan out.
Doc Sands has a 9-4 and is going to raise here, Vince. He's not calling with his hand. He's come over the top and 3-bet it. And Sean may just set him in right here.
560 total. I call.
Huge hand in a 3-handed game, but Sean just calls. Does not re-raise here with the ace-queen. Wants to see a flop first. Here it comes. Well, it's come king 7-4. Doc Sands has made 2 4s. He now has the best hand. He's going to bet here and just hope his opponent doesn't have a king in his hand.
Yep, 670,000.
Sean mucks his hand.
We might have got there, but I was definitely ahead on the flop.
Most people that repropped you with what I had.
I guess we would have got it in then.
You're right.
I wouldn't fold my hand to anybody, even you.
Oh, boy.
Not even to a donkey, huh?
Well, I mean, I flatted ace-king against you earlier in the tournament. You remember that? That was a showing of respect.
Bunch of poppycock going on here.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
That's what we hear at the poker table all the time.
So far, since this final table started, not one player has ever had the chip lead other than Sean Jazayeri, but Doc Sands closing the gap on him right now.
All right, the blinds are going up to 50 and 100,000. And right now, a quick fold by Dan Kelly, and Doc
280?
Sands going to raise with a 4-5 of clubs, makes it 280 to go. Sean with Jack 9, going to make the call.
So same 2 guys going at it again. Flop comes 10-8-6. Doc has flopped a gut shot straight draw, but Sean has flopped an open-end straight draw.
Doc Sands bets 360.
I call.
And a quick call by Sean.
One thing's a certainty now. Whoever wins this pot will be our chip leader.
Doc Sands needs some luck. He gets a good card there.
He sure does. That gives him a flush draw, and a deuce would now make him a straight as well. So good card for Doc, and he's going to bet because of it.
640,000.
Healthy bet here.
I call.
What will Sean do with the open-end straight draw? There's your answer, folks. He has made the call.
Boy, he is like a broke cousin. He just will not go away. Making this call.
Doc looking for some help here. Doesn't happen as the 10 comes off. The best hand between him is Jack High.
Doc is just disappointed in that card and the way things are going. He checks it, putting up the white flag. And Sean, with absolutely nothing, is going to make a bet. Doesn't need it, though. Doc Sands releases the hand.
So Sean Jazayeri taking down a big pot to widen his chip lead with 3 players left.
Boy, he just okie dokie. Doc Sands in that. Backfires for the young guy. And right now, the amateur player, Sean, once again extending his chip lead. Incredible. The first place prize, over 1.3 million. Action's going to Sean.
Raise.
Going to raise on the button here.
Lines are 50 and 100. He's going to make it 250,000 to go. Dan out.
Over to Doc Sands, who looks down at the Queen Jack of Diamonds. He's going to make the call. Wants to see a flop. I hope Diamonds doesn't come up.
Well, better than that for Doc. He hits queens.
Doc checks.
275.
Sean quickly bets 275,000. You think he bets too fast sometimes. He just never takes his time whether he's going to fold or whether he's going to play. If I'd suggest one thing to him, I'd say just take a deep breath and slow down, whether you bet or whether you fold. Don't do everything in such a hurry. It's hard to criticize his style for where he's at right now.
Doc is going to slowly make the call with top pair. Still hook his man a little bit. 6 on the turn, pairs the board. Doc again, throwing the rope.
I check.
And a nice slow down there by Sean Jazayeri.
Indeed it was. Now a 7 comes off. I'm certain Doc feels like he's got the best hand now. And he's going to bet 440,000.
Looks like a busted flush draw to me.
And now you see Sean contemplating what to do.
How much is the bet?
So he's bet about a third the size of the pot here.
And Sean's saying, how much is it? Will my ace high possibly win this? Wow.
He does make the call, and he is going to lose the pot.
Great hand. Well played.
Doc Sands shows him the queens and takes down the pot.
Sean going for the hero play.
Very well played, Dave.
Sometimes it backfires, but at least he's in the game. All right now the blinds are 50 and 100,000. And Dan Kelly looking down at a real hand. Pair of jacks. And he's going to make it 200,000 to go. Doc Sands out.
I call.
Sean Jazayeri with a pair of 6s is going to make the call.
Yeah, just calls here. A lot of players with 3 bet with a pair in the big blind, but Sean taking the conservative route. Now it's come ace, ace, 9.
I check.
Neither player going to be crazy about that flop. Fearful their opponent's got an ace in their hand.
Dan is going to bet 200,000. It's going to work. Sean has to say goodnight.
Win your way to the 40 million guaranteed WPT World Championship. Satellites as low as $5 and awarding at least 12,400 WPT Championship passports every Sunday. Click the link in the description below, sign up with bonus code YT90, and win your seat.
Action going to Sean. This time he's got a 9-7 of clubs. Makes it 225, Mike.
Dan Kelly going out, and Doc Sands has the ace-4. He's going to call and see a flop.
So ace-4 up against 9-7. And we are flopping.
What a flop for Doc Sands. He's flopped top and bottom pair.
He's going to try to trap.
225.
And he's going to get Sean to bet with the 7s, 225,000.
Well, Doc may think the guy's got a big ace. Might make a lot of money if he raises here. And that's what he's going to do.
I fold.
I don't blame him for this.
Nice hand.
But he chases his man away, acting like he's excited to win that.
One time only.
One time only what? You showed?
Oh, no, they asked me for a fist pump. I gave him a fist pump.
You got to keep the fans happy.
Looked a little bit like Gus Hansen there with the flex, didn't he? Gus, a former winner of this event. Well, there you see David Doc Sands' fiance Erica in the audience. And let me tell you, Vince, she's an impressive player in her own right. They both made a splash at last season's WSOP main event. Doc finished in 30th place, and Erica beat him out, finishing in 29th.
David Sands in second chip position with about 5.3, but Dan Kelly now first to act. He's got a king 7.
Looks like he's going to raise on the button. The men raised to 200,000.
Doc getting out of the way.
Sean just feels like playing right now. Makes the call with the 8-5.
Yep, he's going to speculate. Ooh, could be a good one because he's open-ended and he's going to check.
Sean with the open-end straight. Dan with second pair. And he checks also.
Surprised he didn't bet that with the continuation bet, but whoa, maybe he knew something. The 9 hits.
Unbelievable. Sean has made a straight. And he's going to bet 200,000.
He's going to get action by Dan.
No card Dan can win with it. You can get a split if an 8 comes off. That doesn't happen as a 10 comes off. And another $200,000 bet.
And a little bet.
Well, Dan's going to make the call. He just wants to see this.
8 for a straight, 8-5 off.
So Sean does show him the straight. Going to take down this pot. And he just sort of reeled in the youngster there. Picked up 400,000.
Peck.
200 on the turn, 200 on the river.
Got the max out of it, Mike.
Pay me off, and he did.